Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.
Welcome to A Couple More Minutes podcast, where two veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation and video games. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Jeff Gabor, and alongside me, as always, is
Pete Paquette.
Pete Paquette. Hey, buddy.
How you doing, man?
This is one of our illustrious Quantum Assurance Board episodes where we're going to take a look back at 1990 Nintendo game Shatterhand to see if it deserves the Nintendo seal of approval it carries on the package. But first, as always, we're going to start with a game, okay, Pete? Stump
Let's
Pete.
do it. Let's do it.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
I'm going to give clues to 3 retro video games, and Pete will try to guess. I will bleep if he guesses the actual name, so that way you can play along with us. All right, first game. This 1989 Disney movie finally gets an NES game 2 years later in 1991. Features this music.
Capcom game?
You bet it's a Capcom game.
I don't know. What's the third?
All right, third clue. Features weapons such as seashells and trapping enemies in bubbles to defeat an evil sea witch.
Little Mermaid.
There you go. Well done. It is Little Mermaid. All right. Number 2. This popular series known as Dynablaster in Europe makes its NES debut in late 1985 by Hudson Soft. All right, features this music.
Starship Hector?
No. I think the clue, the first one says that it was known in Europe as Dynablaster. Blaster. All right. Third clue. This game series features important upgrades such as extending the length of your blasts, and often features a campaign mode with as well as a multiplayer mode in later games in the series.
I have no idea. I think you stumped me.
This is a great game. This is Bomberman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The original Nintendo one left a lot to be desired, but later on, man, those are my favorite games. Mega Bomberman, oh, that game is great.
I never played one Bomberman game.
Oh, you're missing out. I think that the multiplayer stuff is where friends go to die. That is good stuff. Maybe we got to resurrect that maybe during your next Extra Life campaign, because that is a good time.
Yeah, maybe we should.
All right, last game. This 1991 unlikely NES game is based on a 1990 superhero horror movie starring Liam Neeson and directed by Sam Raimi.
Toxic Crusader?
Nah. Throwing out some good guesses. All right, features this music. It's a banger. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
All
is
right,
cool.
Last clue. I mean, nobody in their right mind should play this game. But, all right, this is an Ocean game. So that'll tell you how good it is. All right. Ocean adapts the story of Dr. Peyton Westlake, a scientist who was working on a synthetic skin for burn
Dark
victims.
Man.
There you go. There you go. Yes, but after a run-in with a ruthless mobster is left disfigured, but with new superpowers. You're right, Pete. It is dark, man. Good music, though.
What a horrible game.
Horrible, horrible, horrible game. I mean, all Ocean games. I don't know one Ocean game I like.
Yeah, neither do I.
There's got to be one out there, but I haven't found it yet. I mean, LJN wrongly gets labeled as the worst. Ocean takes it for me. Ocean's terrible.
I'd agree. At least some LJN games are playable.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was Stump, Pete. Little rough this episode. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, let's move on to just a little bit of news. We won't spend much time there. So I was dipping into the world of Xbox because I felt like Xbox was on the verge of dying. I thought they were like leaving the consoles, and Phil Spencer stepped down, who was like the head of Xbox for like goddamn 30 years or something crazy. And look at that. They surprise everybody and announce a new Project Helix, which is a new system that bridges the gap between consoles and PC gaming. Wild stuff like this, working together with AMD, whole bunch of crazy hardware. They're supposedly going to send out developer kits late this year to people, and it'll be one single developer kit for PC gaming and for console gaming now. So it helps indie game devs not have to do different builds, I guess. But it's very interesting to see, like, it's basically a Windows box now that is running Xbox like environment over the top of it, and you can seamlessly go in and out of Windows and Xbox. So you're basically buying a computer. And to even like back that up even further, I think this month or later, maybe it's already out there, but or at least next month, they're going to go ahead and put Xbox environment available to Windows. So you can basically boot up your computers into Xbox now. So it's really going to like make it very seamless. And it's
how many people are going to?
I don't know, because that's the thing. It's like, so
I meant to say how many people are going to screw that up, and it's just going to be an Xbox laptop or something.
Yeah, you're right. But it's like, if it's a Windows box and then they're expecting it, okay, the advantage is now you get to have any storefront game. So you basically have the ability to download and play Steam games and Epic Game Store games. Then what's the desire to buy games through the Xbox store? And then if they're not getting that revenue, how are they possibly paying for all this? It seems like they're shooting themselves in the foot with this.
It does. And the other thing too is like, okay, like I'm one of the people that enjoy the Xbox hardware. I do. I may be in the minority big time, but I think that the Xbox hardware is way stronger than the PS5.
Yeah.
Hardware. Now people are going to laugh at me, and I don't give but that's how I feel, because I have had PS4s being like 5 years old just suddenly stop fucking working, and meanwhile my Xbox One still works to this day. You know, so I think it's going to be people like me who might end up going this route. But the thing that I don't understand is why call it a console at all.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's not like they have a big following on their consoles.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So what's the point? Call it a PC and be done with it.
Well, and that's why they were trying to do that crazy campaign where everything's an Xbox. It's like your phone's an Xbox, your computer's an Xbox, an Xbox is an Xbox. But I don't feel like that's a great marketing campaign. No. I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to Xbox being synonymous basically with just gaming. It doesn't matter where it is. but it's super confusing, and I don't think they help themselves out very much by naming their consoles wacky. Anyways, it'll be interesting. I don't understand the advantage of this versus a Steam machine. Like, if you're gonna get a little box that is there to play games, and then you can take it on the go with your handheld, I don't know why you don't just go Steam. I don't know.
Yeah, Steam or Epic Games Store is good too.
Yeah, there's got to be some hook or something that I'm not seeing, and maybe somebody can reach out and tell us what that hook is. But as of right now, I don't really see it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I don't
maybe
know.
you know what? Maybe it's just the fact that it's going to be a super beefed up like little machine that you can buy at maybe at a certain rate, and with AI skyrocketing the cost of parts these days, maybe having this like device that's all in one that is a Windows machine and a gaming machine that all comes pre-packaged. Maybe that's the hook. I don't know.
Maybe. One can dream, Jeff Gabor.
Let's dream of that. All right. All right, we've expired this. All right, fine. We're done with Xbox. I don't know where it's going. All right. I don't know if you've been playing anything, Pete. Anything
I am not playing anything right now. I don't want to at all.
Oh, you don't even want to?
I just want to sit on my couch in the dark and listen to music. That's what I want to do.
Dude. What's wrong with you, Pete?
I'm broken, Jeff Gabor.
You know what might help? Some Mario Tennis Fever. It's pretty good.
Didn't that just come out?
Yeah, it did. Picked it up with my kids. My kids play tennis, so I was like, you know what? Let's play digital tennis. So I bought that. It is fun. I don't know if it's going to bring you out of the dark, but I do like the game. It's one of those games where it's see, I don't know how much I'm coming at it fresh because I never played any of the old school Mario Tennis games. Like, this is kind of the first one.
I played one for the Switch, the one for the Switch, and I thought it was boring.
Yeah,
and so like that's probably why this came out, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So I what I like about it is it's one of these games where it's easy to pick up, but it's hard to master. As evidenced by going online and trying to play against other people and getting spanked repeatedly. I don't even know how they're doing it. Like, I lose, I don't know, 10 out of 11 games. It is ruthless. Like,
that's
ruthless.
Brutal.
And it's ranking, so it's an old school ranking system where it's like you get into the thing and you have a certain score, and as you lose, you keep going down. You get graded a C and a D and whatever. My ranking just perpetually goes down, and I seem to not be able to get low enough to beat anybody. What is going on? I have a couple of complaints though.
Okay.
The biggest one is so you played the Switch one, so I'm sure it's the same. But you basically have a range of different like swings that you can do. You know, your curves, and you got your power shots. And there's two that are really important, which is a lob, which sends it like way over the head of the player to send it to the back of the court if they're playing too far forward. Or you can do a drop shot, which puts it really close and tries to, they have to run up to close to the net. Now, their default mapping is set to basically you have to quickly hit two buttons. And like it's like a hitting B and then A, or A and then B, whatever. It will do a drop shot. And that is super difficult. It's like the ball's coming at you really fast, and to hit two buttons in sequential order real quick and have it read, it feels like it never reads it quite correctly. And I was really struggling doing it. And then I went online. I was like, how are people doing this? And I realized, oh, you can map it to like the triggers in the back. So it's just a single button.
Now, wait a minute. Is that cheating?
No, because I guarantee you everybody's doing it. It literally says, like, if you go into tips and tricks for Mario Fever, it immediately says, go into the settings. And it's not like I'm remapping the controller. I'm going into the settings that are actually in a part of the game.
Okay.
So it's like for player 1, okay, I'll map lob to right trigger and drop shot to left trigger or whatever. Great. Now I'm able to do those shots whenever I want, and it's much easier. So then I'm playing with my daughter, and she's player 1 and I'm player 2, and I'm like, what the hell? I can't do lobs. I can't do drop shots because I wasn't able to set up. I was like, okay, let me go to player 2 and set up those things. What the heck? It does not give you the ability to have player 2 use those controls. So player 2's always at a disadvantage. I don't even know. It's like, what the hell, Nintendo? Like you knew people wanted to remap, but you're only going to give it to player 1?
That's weird.
And I went online. I was like, okay, maybe I'm just doing this wrong. Nah, there's whole Reddit threads like, nope, player 2 doesn't get access to that. And the game has a whole doubles. Like you go online and you can do ranking against people, but what's the point when one of your players is at a complete disadvantage of the controls? I hate it. I really hate it. It makes me so angry. Not to mention they should have just by default had it that, not make you switch it, because it's super difficult to pull off if you don't set it up. Anyways, so outside of that, I really like the game. The campaign mode sucks so bad. Oh my god, it's just the characters won't stop talking. Oh my god, I'm just like tapping.
What is that? What is with that? What these days? Why do characters have to speak constantly?
Especially in Nintendo games, they just won't shut up.
No, and also in like I like Blaster Master Zero, right?
Yep.
Blaster Master Zero Part 2 was so wordy that I didn't even bother. I saw the trailer or like a demo being played at PAX, in fact, which I'll be going to next weekend.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, why do you need this much dialogue in a video game? Why?
You absolutely don't. This Mario game about tennis does not need a whole exposition about how Mario and Luigi got turned into babies, and now Waluigi and Wario also got turned into babies, and how we need to talk about that incessantly. And then we got to go through all this training, and then we're gonna. I'm telling you, it is jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber, jibber jabber. It is the worst. I'm really making this game sound like a winner. Anyways, I do like the actual tennis part once you get to it, and if you have somebody to play with, like a kid or something, then it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
All right, let's end on that note.
Perfect. Love it. All right, we'll play a little music, and when we come back, we'll take a look at Shatterhand. Quantum Assurance Board, where we have been sent back in time to make right what went. What do we do, Pete? We are sent back in time to make right what once went wrong and determine for all time whether Natsume's 1991 game Shatterhand deserves the Nintendo seal of quality it boasted to earn. Wow,
wasn't it published by Jalico?
You're right, published by Jalico. It's interesting because, I thought it was just Jalico, right? But that's the publisher. And then it was when I loaded up in like an old GamePro magazine, and I found it's like, it talking about Shatterhand, and it went into a whole review and everything. And sure enough, in the first sentence, it talks about Natsume and the games that they made before, and I was like, oh, okay, so this was just like something in America that got relabeled as Jalico, and they just kind of put a label on it.
So what other games did they make?
Natsume's NES games. Shadow of the Ninja, Scat, Abadox, Dragon Fighter, The Jetsons. Oh, crazy. Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, that's a very, very eclectic collection
that
of
is.
games there. It's like
Oh, Sentai Jetman. Super Sentai series. So they had a little take on Solar Jetman series.
huh?
Hmm.
Really?
Guess so.
Did it suck as bad as the other one did?
I like it. Come on.
I know you do.
Go
I'm just
go
giving you
check out
shit.
the Ministry podcasts for a little Solar Jetman talk. Well,
So
so Shatterhand, you play as the worst part about the game, I think, and it's going to be all positive from after this, is you basically play this like douchey looking guy from the Bronx with like some Oakley sunglasses and a chin strap. He looks super douchey. But anyways, this guy ends up losing his arms during a skirmish with this organization, Metal Command, and your arms are replaced with cyborg arms, and so then you set back to defeat Metal Command before they conquer the world with their robotic army. And basically, the whole game hinges on melee combat. So it's the idea that you're using your metal arms and beating the crap out of people, and you have a little combo punch type thing.
I think that in itself is weakens the game. Like the fact that you have to like run up and like punch people and stuff. You have to get because you punch, you have to get in close.
Yeah, real
And
close, like within, half a tile of everybody.
yeah. So to me that's a big drawback to the entire idea. But I think what would have fixed it is if you could have punched back the projectiles.
Yeah, you're right. That would be huge. You can occasionally kind of like punch the projectiles and stop them from hitting you. But yeah, that would have been huge if you could like turn their projectiles against, because almost the entire, and it's interesting, it's like a melee game, but almost every single enemy has a gun or is basically just trying to run through you. But a lot of bullets, a lot of bullets in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but that would fix it.
I found that I found the entire like progression of the game itself, for me anyway, it felt more luck based than talent based.
Oh,
Do you
really?
know what I
How
mean?
so? No, I don't. How so?
Because I would play a level over and over and over again, and one time I would get almost to the end. The next time I would get halfway. The next time I would get again back almost to the end. The next time halfway, 3/4, a third. But it was so random. Like the progression of me like progressing through the levels.
Yeah, I wonder if that's also about just how much patience you have, because I feel like that's where the game hinges on you memorizing where these guys are, where what the power ups are, what's in each one of these boxes for special items.
Oh yeah, you have to memorize it.
Yeah,
you definitely have to.
So I feel like that's where like I started getting better at the game, is when I just took a moment being like, okay, how do I get past these guys? And then also, all right, so the other part of the game is you do get these you get these power-ups, and should you break open a box and it has one of these power-ups, it's labeled with either an alpha or a beta symbol, and you can punch it to turn it to the other symbol. Basically, if you want alpha, you can get alpha. If you want beta, you can choose. And you need to collect 3 of these, and you'll get some combo of like alpha alpha alpha, or alpha beta alpha, or beta beta beta. All right, so depending on the combo that you choose, you get a different cybernetic upgrade. And it's just like this little robot that follows you. And each combo does wildly different stuff. And some of them are great, and some of them are downright awful.
I found the entire experience to be pretty bad.
Well,
the robots.
I feel like that's where the game like you must use specific ones at certain times, and so you must memorize what ones you want, and then memorize the levels and what they're good at. Basically, I find alpha beta beta the best one. It creates this little cybernetic robot who kind of stays in like diagonal up left or up right to you, so he like floats a little bit right next to you, and he shoots these bouncy projectiles that like ricochet all over the walls, and basically you can take out all these enemies that you previously were going to have to use a melee attack. Now you can kill them all from a distance. Basically, right as they come onto screen, you just fire it, and you can almost get through the entire levels without taking a hit with the upgrade there.
See, I never figured that out. I got too frustrated with it.
Yeah, if you don't get that, it's very, very, very frustrating. And what's also frustrating is that your robot has its own built-in life, which is not displayed, which is super frustrating. And so you don't really get to control where it is. You roughly can manipulate it to be either to the left or the right of you, but it's not real clear how to do it. And so if your little robot runs into an enemy or gets hit by a projectile, it slowly just loses its life, and then it'll blow up, and then you got to remake the combo, which is a huge detriment because what you want to do is get the same combo twice. And I don't know if you ever were able to have enough patience to do that, but once you do, you take on a whole cybernetic suit to yourself, and you become an invincible robot for about 15 seconds, and you can plow like through anybody.
Michael Jackson and the
Moonwalker. Yeah. Well, Michael Jackson turned into a much cooler one. That sprite was huge. Yeah,
it was tremendous.
But it's super important because what a lot of times, especially within those, it's kind of cool. I will say it's a little Mega Man style where you get to choose which levels you want to go to, and there's no particular order you need to go in.
Yeah, I like that.
Those levels are doable. And a lot of time that hinges on if you basically collect your last power up to become invincible just before the boss room, you can just bang the crap out of the boss. I don't know if that's the right word I should use. But you can kill him pretty fast. You can definitely kill him good. And that's how I was able to finally do a little bit better and stop dying so much. And because at first I was like, man, you really got to like memorize these boss patterns. And like the patterns are like really tough. And there's like that. I will say they look awesome.
Yeah. The graphics in this game is fantastic.
Dude, yeah, right?
Yeah.
One thing
it's just it's so like I don't know. Whenever I saw it when I was a kid, I always held Jalico to a high regard because they made Bases Loaded, and Bases Loaded back then was like the epitome of graphics for baseball. Not RBI Baseball. RBI Baseball was a better game, but the graphics weren't as good.
Gotcha.
But like, if the graphics, they actually like did like the broadcast behind the pitcher and gameplay, which was like one of the first of its kind. And it was, and ever since then, I was like, Jalico. Okay, Jalico. Let's see. Totally rad. Those graphics are fantastic.
Yeah, they are.
You know, what's another one?
Racket Attack.
Racket Attack was good graphics.
It was. I actually liked the game.
At the time, it was good graphics, and then the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Those graphics are great too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking about your brother in the last ministry podcast. You guys were talking about Swords and Sorcery, not Swords and Sorcery. What the hell's the name of the game?
Wizards and Warriors.
Thank you, Wizards and Warriors. Dear Lord. Anyways, he was talking about how much he really likes black backgrounds because things pop, and like this game does it to perfection. All the backgrounds are actually just black, but they add a ton of like little detail. And so your characters not only pop from the background, but they look still highly, highly detailed. I feel like this is a great lesson. Like it's something I'm keeping in the back of my head, being like, okay, this is the game to go to when you need to learn how to do black backgrounds exceptionally well.
And may I say, it is complemented extremely well with the audio. The audio engine that they created sounds Infernax must have listened to this
Oh my god! I'm so
soundtrack.
glad you said that because I was played through the game just one more time today, and I was like listening to it. And I was like, dude, that's Infernax. I can hear Infernax in it.
Yeah, you totally can. And the funny thing about it is that the soundtrack is so good that there isn't one particular track that stands above the others.
No,
So
you're
it's
right.
hard to be like, oh, that track on level 4 is freaking awesome. It was the
Yep.
best, because they were all so good.
Yep. So I got it down as the composer was Iku Mizutani, who worked on Shadow of the Ninja, Metal Gear, and he's actually still working today. He's working on the remastering of Shadow of the Ninja, and he actually even worked on Abobo's Big Adventure back in 2012. So that
Oh,
guy's
really?
still cranking stuff out. Yeah,
Wow, that's impressive.
yeah. But you're right. The music is phenomenal in this game. Well, I would say moving on to controls, gotta ding it a little bit here. Like
Yeah,
it,
I didn't really have too much of a problem with the controls except the robot.
Yep. I think that's a big one is that, so much of the game hinges on you being able to use the robot and be able to use the projectiles, and it's pretty frustrating. And then the other thing I kept running into, actually you mentioned it first, is you can't turn around while you're crouching.
Yeah, you can't.
So
And
it's like
that is bull.
yeah. I constantly get into because the enemies they have a handful of enemies that are basically just running. They're just like auto runners. And they spawn from the front and the back, and you basically have to like punch, then turn around and punch. And if you can't do it while you're ducking because you want to duck because there's other enemies that are like just taking a pistol and they're firing bullets constantly, so you're constantly ducking. So it's very frustrating. You just take a hit just because you can't turn around. That's definitely an oversight on their part.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was the other big control thing? Well, there's anti-gravity. I wrote that down. Oh my gosh. Did you ever get to those levels where you have to flip upside down?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't have that much of a problem with it.
Really? I could not figure it out. I was like, is it how long you hold the jump button down? Or is it you have to press up while you jump? What makes you flip upside down?
It's when you walk on like a certain platform, I thought. That's what
Well,
I perceived it as.
yeah, but later levels it becomes something you have to do. Like
Oh,
you have to
really?
and you have to like platform and then switch from top to bottom.
Yeah, I didn't
And
get that far.
it's jank. It's really I could not figure it out, and so I would take all these unnecessary hits because of it all the time. I really couldn't stand it. Yeah, I think.
Oh, can I just say one little tiny grievance
Yeah,
I have? How long do you need to hold the frame before you reset to a new player after you die? You sit there for a good 10 seconds just looking at your dead body before the game says, "Okay, it's time to start another life."
I know it's to the point where it's like, hello, like you just sit there and
Exactly. That's exactly it. It's like, is anybody like you're like talking into the Nintendo controller? Like, does anybody hear me? Hello,
yeah,
I'm stuck here.
super bizarre. I don't know
Yeah.
what somebody that is a huge oversight. I don't know. I did notice that. It's like one of the first things you notice when you play it. You take a
Yeah.
death and you just sit there. Very odd. You know what also kind of sucks is when you're the melee combo, right? So one both Game Gear, not Game Gear. Jeez, man, I keep messing up. A Game Pro magazine mentions it, and so does the manual. They're like, well, you have a super punch, and they're like, the manual I think says hold up to do it, and
Mhm.
it's the one where you like do this like crazy over the top big punch, and the animation changes. Looks real slick.
Yeah.
But I could not do it on command. The only way you can do it, I found, is like you punch like basically 3 or 4 times, and then after you do that series of like baby punches, then it goes into the over the top big swinging punches that
As
do
long
extra
as
damage.
as long as you connect.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's how I found was the way to do it.
But there's no way to like make your first punch be that over the top punch, right?
Well, I did it once or twice where it was
Man.
like where I was getting bombarded by enemies and I was just like spamming the punch button and
Yeah. Yeah.
it just happened. Like
That's exactly it. Yeah, yeah. That's the only way I got to tap into. It's like you have to spam punch. So I don't know what Game Pro is talking about. I have no idea what the manual is talking about. Whatever it is, it seemed to be an oversight. And also, that final punch has a pretty long animation to it, and you're locked. You're locked into place. You can't jump out of it. And so later on, when you're in
Oh,
these
really?
boss
You're
fights,
locked?
yeah. So you take a bunch of hits later on when you're in the middle of a punch and you're locked into your animation and can't leave it. It's a huge oversight when a lot of the game is like not quite bullet hell dodgy type stuff, but it is like you have to be fast on your feet with some of the bosses, and you get locked into animation. It does not feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. So definitely some polish needed in the controls, but overall the jumping feels great. I don't have. That's just I'm picking at stuff that was annoying, but
Yeah.
comparatively to like Wizards and Warriors or that whatever, like holy cow, this is like an amazing, amazing, amazing game.
Yeah. No, we'll always point out the flaws, but the good outweighs the bad for sure.
Yeah. So just wrapping it up, like what about gameplay and fun factor?
Um, I thought it was fun. Uh, Gameplay, as far as gameplay goes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know how to judge that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm basically just saying like whether overall did you have a good experience with it, and
Yeah, I would say that the experience was good for sure. You know,
I had a good experience until I got to the last level. Then the spike in terms of difficulty goes out of control because the game does a very good job of balancing checkpoints, and like basically you lose your checkpoint if you lose all your lives, then you have to play the level from the start again. And the first like 6 levels are very doable. Like you have unlimited continues and you just keep trying and trying. You take your lumps and you learn where the power ups are, and you can get through it. It just takes time. But the last level is absolutely insane. Like some crazy jumping where there's enemies sitting at the top of jumps where you're like, all right, how am I supposed to time not getting shot? Because as soon as the guys see you in front of them, they take a pistol shot, but you're also trying to jump from another platform. It's like, I'm going to take a hit no matter what. And you don't always have the ability to have your little robot friend there to save you. And so it just becomes super difficult. And then they take out checkpoints. No checkpoints. All right. Then to add on top of that, they do a boss rush.
Are you kidding? No checkpoints, a boss rush. Like, wow, that's
and the
crazy.
boss rush. It's not a boss rush in the typical sense where you do this whole level and then you play all 6 bosses in a row. Nope. Little bit of level, boss. Little bit more level, boss. Little bit more level, boss. Little bit more level, boss. Take a death on that third boss. Start the whole thing over. All boss rush, everything.
Wow, that's brutal.
It's not good. Not good. I tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. It took me hours, and that's stupid. Like it shouldn't take me that long to finally get it. And at that point, I feel your pain. Like I felt like I was just starting to get lucky, and finally just was able to brute force get luck with it. So outside of that, I had a great time with the gameplay. Mechanics are super innovative, I think. I know the melee kind of is frustrating that you have to go up and punch people, but it is at least interesting comparatively to all the other NES games. And I do like the robot, even though I wish I could control it better. I actually since I brought up that GamePro, I have how they scored it. And so their review ends with there's no hand like Shatterhand. Shatterhand's rock'em sock'em action leaves all those other NES slug it out carts in a crippled heap. Take yourself to the brink once again and try your hand at Shatterhand. And then they got a rating for graphics, which they gave their highest score 5.0, sound 5.0, gameplay 5.0, fun factor 5.0, and challenge 5.0. They had an interesting category for challenge because they would rate it based on how hard the game was, and you don't necessarily want a game to get 5 out of, even though the graphic makes it look like it's a good thing, but having it 5 out of 5 challenging makes the game like really rough to play.
That's a good point.
But yeah, it is. It's difficult. That I agree with their 5.0 because once you get to that last level, it's stupid hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I never got there.
I don't know. I with all that said, I would have a hard time stripping this game of its seal of approval.
No, I can't either. Like it's too polished. Aside from the few things we were talking about, the graphics are off the charts. The sound is off the charts. You know, like the freaking just the idea that you're a guy that just beats the out of people.
Yeah,
that's fun too. You know. So
yeah.
I mean, like I think despite its flaws, I think there's no way we could strip it.
Yeah, and I think you're dead on. I think it's still influencing games today. I am positive Infernax was listening to this, and the beautiful backgrounds are totally worth taking in. The bosses, they're like these cybernetic robots / ninjas, and given they have like the 3 palette limit of the NES, they get an insane amount of detail, really cool action poses. I was noticing today, like one of these characters like had the classic like hand pose where you have your hand and your 4 fingers, your finger, like your pointer fingers out, but the rest of your 3 fingers are like grouped together, and you're kind of like in this like pointing gesture with your thumb out. It's like a classic like animators pose that you would draw, and I cannot believe that they had like all of like 5 pixels to work with and got that to read.
Yeah,
like it's really worth studying if you're in graphic design or a pixel artist or anything like that. Certainly an animator, like what they can get across with so little is really mind-blowing to me. I just really, really great.
Little tidbit I want to share is that I found this game at a flea market back in like the 90s, and it's not a very common game. So when I saw it, at first I was like pissed because somebody bashed a hole right where the guy was punching in the front of the cartridge. And you could see like the circuits underneath. And then I was like, wait a minute. It's like, how awesome is this?
Yeah.
It's like, it looks like he just punched through the Nintendo cartridge. The game still worked. I got a discount. And it was so now I have this like cracked, broken cartridge that looks like it was done intentionally.
Dude, you still have that?
Yeah.
I have got to check that out. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody was maybe being very like, I don't know, just creative with their cart. That's funny.
Yeah.
Because isn't the cover basically him smashing through the label kind of looking?
Yeah, it's like coming towards the camera,
yeah.
You know?
He comes across like being a douchey Johnny Cage type of character.
Yeah.
The game's much better than what the cover. I guarantee you whatever lack of success this game had to do with its marketing. Like, oh boy, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like their main character. It's funny, like when you're actually playing the game, the character does not look like uncool. He actually looks pretty cool. He doesn't have these like, they didn't have enough details, so you don't get the douchey sunglasses and the like chin strap that's almost doubles as a goatee type thing. None of that comes across. It just actually comes across as a really, really pretty cool character, actually, when you're playing the game.
Yeah. Like the game is definitely different has a different sort of tone than cover art.
Yeah. Well, let's make it official, right? Let's let it keep its seal.
Yep.
All right. The Quantum Assurance Board hereby finds you worthy of your Nintendo seal of quality and thus deems you a crowning jewel in the NES library to be revered for all time. Go and play Shatterhand with power. Nintendo power.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well done, Pete. We're gonna get back. Maybe we'll reconvene with another shoot the shit episode, and then we'll see what game we return with.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We will. Sorry that we're taking a little bit more time for our own personal projects and spreading these podcasts out just a little bit wider, but it'll all pay off in the end.
I promise it will.
Can you promise that?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's just give it that. Yeah, why not? I don't think anybody's going to come after us and say we didn't keep that promise, right?
Yeah.
All right, Pete. Well, thanks for joining me. This has been a Couple More Minutes podcast, where two veterans of the animation and video game industry talk about exactly that, animation and video games. I'm one of your hosts, Jeff Gabor, and alongside me, as always, is
Pete Paquette.
All right, this week we're again the quantum. No, I'm not going to start the episode over again. All right. All right. Take care, everybody. Catch you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.